Howard.
Hi. Becky, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I feeding back onto you?
I'm sorry?
Is there a feedback problem? That's what happened the last time.
Right. I haven't heard it yet. But you just froze up. That's not good. Howard, are you there? I think we lost Howard.
He was coming in so well, too.
I know, it seems like it froze.
Yeah. Good evening, Leslie.
Hi, Ellen. There he is.
Howard, speak. See if we can hear you.
Ooh,
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Speak again. Again.
Hi, this is me, Howard. Can you?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got a little bit of
Uh-oh.
feedback.
you froze again. Oh, wait a minute. He's
Okay.
moving again.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to call in. There's a problem, and I think it's because I'm using an old app, and my screen keeps freezing.
Whatever you think will work.
When he calls in, can we hear him? How
Mhm.
does that work?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear him.
All right.
Leslie's on her iPhone, so it's a full, it's an iPhone, not just a regular.
Only because I don't have a speaker or the camera
On the town's equipment.
I don't
going to-
either. So
I'm going to
I'm
mute
home.
myself anyway, unless you want me to speak, I'll be off.
I did send him the phone number. Leslie, I'm going to make you the host, co-host, just in case my connection goes down. That'll just keep the meeting running, okay? You won't have to do anything.
oh,
Really. Here he comes.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do this on the telephone because I think there's a problem with the app on my Chromebook, and I'll fix it after we're done.
Okay. Okay, we ready to start?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everybody ready? Let's start the meeting. 5:36.
Okay.
Who is the last
Audio-
person who joined us with just a telephone symbol?
That's
I'm
Howard
sorry.
Gardner. He's one of the assessors.
I'm sorry. Tell me, I'm not following. Tell me what you need me to do.
Nothing. You're fine.
Okay. I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, I'm finding a piece of paper. So,
Okay.
so looking at the agenda that Leslie sent out, like, we need to first approve the meeting minutes from the last two meetings. Howard, did you get a chance to review those?
I did, and I approve them.
Okay, and I found everything fine too, so they're approved. Leslie, you get that? That's a yes.
I'm sorry, I am on mute. Yes, I got that. Thank you.
Okay. And then the next thing you had was request from tax collector for abatements on Title V bills, including quarter 1 and 2 real estate. So I looked at the documents, Leslie, that you sent out here. Looks fine to me. Howard, did you see those?
I'm sorry. What I saw, Leslie, tell me if I'm wrong. I saw two sheets. Sorry, I'm sorry. I saw two sheets that are automobile excise abatements or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Okay, a
That's
bunch of cars
correct,
got
yeah.
sold.
We
Okay,
haven't
so
talked
two.
about those yet. No, yeah.
Okay, I saw two. The only other form that I got was something relating to Bernhardt,
Mhm.
That's
Gary
correct.
Bernhardt's property. Is
May
that
I
what we're
s-
talking?
In my cover letter, I explained that rather than send out all seven
All seven.
abatements, I would just send one sample, and if anybody wanted to see all seven, they could come into the office.
May I explain what happened? Well, what I think happened. Somehow in transmitting the information from the assessors to my program and then to me, which, they have to, I call it massage it. They have to do something in order for me to be able to use it with their program. Somehow the Title V, which is only billed in the third and fourth quarter ever, somehow
Okay.
got 1/2 of that value got put into the tax for quarters 1 and 2. It shouldn't have.
Okay.
And what happened was it did. So people, I'm sure there, and I know there was at least one who hadn't budgeted for this increase because they're used
Okay.
to having it in the third and fourth. So what we're going to be doing is taking it out of the first and second, and then we'll just proceed as usual. In other words, the Title V payments will go in the third and fourth at their full amount, and everything will
Okay.
be. That's all that happened, and I'm trying to just clear up the mess because, as I say, we have people that can't afford necessarily or didn't anticipate this expense coming.
Fine. So are we taking a vote on that now?
That would be good, because then I can stamp your names onto the certificates.
Okay. So I approve.
I approve also.
Thank
Okay.
you, gentlemen.
And now, just to satisfy my curiosity, what's Title V?
Okay, Title V, back in the 1990s, the state had a program where the towns could borrow money from them and therefore assist our citizens when they had to create a new well or a new septic. Septic is Title V.
Oh, got it.
And
Okay.
and so we have people that are still paying it back because they either were late in the program or they had a 20-year loan.
Right.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. And then I wanted to, Howard, let you know, there was a document that I had to go onto the computer system and approve. It's a CP1 document. I did that a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So, Becky, can you update us on, well, the Kevin issue? And I talked to Steve, and did he call you?
May I interrupt to have you just approve the motor vehicle excise abatement
Oh,
reports?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
approve.
approved.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought we might never get back to it and I'd
No,
forget.
it's fine. It's
Oh, you're
fine.
right. So Becky, did Steve call you?
Yes, I spoke to Steve. And unfortunately, he is very much enjoying his retirement and uninterested in coming back to work in, even in Shutesbury. He gave me the name of a couple people that I am reaching out to and sending information, the job ad and the job description to. And I think one of the people, it's Mayflower Appraisals is the name of the company that the person he recommended owns. So it wouldn't, he like RRG kind of subs out assessors. It's not an individual who would be interested in working part-time in Shutesbury, but he has a company where he, just like RRG, where someone would come in from his company on a, like 1 day a week. I have also spoken with David Burgess. He called again yesterday and has set up a time next week to come in to assist with the Hilda Greenbaum issue. He was, I think that he is doing this in part, to assist Hilda's attorney, Bob Spencer, in resolving the issue, but also in seeing if there are other open issues that he can assist us, the assessor's office with. So he'll be coming in next Friday, and I've asked Leslie to be in on Friday as well. As today, Leslie was in all day today, working with Lauren Aldridge to get a lot of documents together that we needed to prepare. So the ad, the main ad for MMA is ready to go. I hope to do that after this meeting to get that out and to broaden the base statewide to assessors. As you all may or may not be aware, there's a statewide shortage in assessors. It's even worse now than it was 3 years ago when I think, Leslie, do you recall, was Kevin Redden our only human applicant?
No, we also had someone by the
Oh,
last name Quackenbush, not Jeffrey. And there was a third applicant whose name I don't remember. That Quackenbush happened to stand out for some reason, but the third applicant never responded when we tried to call him, left messages. He never called back.
And I think the Quackenbush, the woman took another job before, in the short window before we even had interviews. And
Correct.
for that reason, declined the interview. So we're gonna beat the bushes and do our best, but get short-term help from those who are well qualified and are offering it in the interim.
Does David Burgess know vision?
Yes, very well.
Okay. So as an example, the information we need to still respond to Jill, can he get that through division? Does he have that capability?
I'm not sure what Jill's open issue is. I only know about the questions around the 41C.5
Yeah, that's it.
exemption. Okay, that's
We
not
don't
really
need-
related to vision, but I'm hopeful he'll be able to answer that question for us. Yeah, that's on the list of questions for him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because he'll be able to give us a full understanding of how it works, because we at this present time, we don't have it without the expertise of a administrative or head assessor.
And he could also, as an example, I looked at this thing from the DLS on 41 and a half,
Yeah,
and it says there was mud. So,
that's the experience I had too.
yeah. So would he be able to answer, do you think, some questions on how to interpret some of this? Is he that knowledgeable in this stuff? I was hoping Steve would be able to help us with that.
Yeah, maybe Steve would be willing if you called him personally, Jeff.
I'm gonna see him on Sunday. I was gonna hit him up with that.
Good. That's very good, because I don't think we're gonna be able to get him into the office.
That's all right. I know how to walk over to his house. Okay,
That's good. It's good he's a neighbor.
okay.
But we will definitely have that on the list for Friday when David is in.
What, do you know what time David's coming?
Yes, he's 9:30 on Friday,
Not tomorrow.
the
the
3rd.
week
No, I know, yeah, next week.
Yep.
All right. Would it be helpful for either Howard or me to be there also?
Sure.
So Howard, I'll go unless there's an outside chance I may have to go up to Vermont late next week to go help my son move into his new apartment. If I'm not around, would you be able to go to the meeting?
Next Friday morning at 9:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that, sure.
Okay,
I just want to be clear that the main purpose he's coming is to do the research on the Hilda Greenbaum issue. So he'll be busy doing some research for part of the time he's here. But he did say he would assist with questions as well. So
Okay.
we'll get as much
Well,
information.
just in case I can't get an answer out of Steve, then I could ask David.
Good backup.
That's,
And maybe we should post a meeting just in case 2 people arrive. What do you think, Becky?
Um,
well, that's why I was only gonna send one, so we didn't have to post a meeting.
right. I think it would be more
Also,
not
He-
knowing what, because if we post a meeting for 9:30 and he spends the first hour doing research, I think it gets a little complicated. We can't commit his time like that
exactly.
to a meeting, I think.
So just
also
one
you-
will be coming, not 2.
Also, you said that only one of us is going to be there, right?
Yeah,
Right.
So that's not a meeting, right?
correct.
I'm sorry, I heard meeting and I thought Jeff was coming, maybe, and definitely Howard. My
No,
misunderstanding.
as I understand it, only one of us is coming. And if Jeff cannot come, then I will come instead. I
Exactly.
got that right?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I just, Jeff, give me a call as soon as you know, one way or the other.
Exactly. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Okay.
It may not be till Tuesday that I know.
It's fine, it doesn't matter. I'm away Tuesday and Thursday, but, other than that, it's fine.
Very good. Okay, I also see we have FY23 revaluations. Tax rate prep.
Yes.
So Leslie spent today working with Lauren Aldridge from DOR and preparing all the cards necessary. After she was able to successfully download, print out, and email the LA3, which is the list of sales for the last 2 years that are necessary in the reval process. So it feels it feels good to get going on the reval, and Lauren is stepping in with a great deal of support. Leslie can update you a little more detail, but we're playing we're both paying attention to what needs to get done and working together. And I'm just trying to make sure Leslie has the support she needs and trying not to overwork her, given all her other responsibilities.
I would only add that we located the FY 18 reval file today, and that's been helpful in everything I've been doing too.
With the
So
map,
out of curiosity, when you sent in the, all the sales from the last 2 years, is that something that came out of Vision or different records?
Yes. Well, it's available in different records, but there was a report that Lauren was able to guide me through to
In
print it.
Vision?
In Vision, yep. Because
So do we,
every deed that is recorded at the registry goes into Vision. And it was just
So-
a matter of me learning how to print it out.
so at our last meeting, there was this issue of we didn't actually have the passwords to get into Vision. Has that been resolved?
I have my own password to get into Vision, but I don't have permission to do all the things in Vision that the administrative assessor does. And I had no idea if I could print out this report or not, but turns out, yes, I can.
So in term, permission means like the state will, there's a state regulation and it says you can, or what kind of regulation we talking about?
It's not a regulation, but within the department, you have one person who is the administrator, and that person decides formally the big decisions and how things are put in. I have a little job as clerk, putting in the deeds and putting in the building permits. And I can look things up if people call when an administrative person isn't in to answer the simple questions, and I can do some other tasks. But in terms of some of the major things, it's best left up to one person with the most experience, who would be our administrative assessor.
Okay, and we don't have one. But Lauren can help us work around all of that?
Not really. That's not
Okay,
really her job.
we're
okay,
gonna, Roy Bishop, who is coming in as the to help us through the reval, will be able to access Vision and do all the things necessary once we get the password issues settled, which I'm actively working on and hope to have by Monday.
okay,
And is Kevin
okay.
blocked out of the system?
A Vision, not yet. We'll hope to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
There's a question. I hope you can't see it because you can't see everybody.
No, I was just, Melissa raised this issue of not a great thing for him to be able to get in under the circumstances. So I was just, has he tried to, do we know if he's tried to get in?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, good to know. Okay.
Oh, Howard, there's somebody else who's on the screen who's got a question. Except you're
Okay.
muted.
Oh, you're muted, Les.
Recognizing me, Jeff?
Yeah, you're muted.
Okay.
You were muted.
So many of the people who are watching in right now know me, except for you, Jeffrey and Howard. I've lived in town for 32 years. And we're senior citizens. My wife, Jill's on the screen also. And early on, several months ago, we started meeting with the previous administrative assessor to get clarification on all the different property tax abatements that are available. And for months, we were not getting clear answers. And for months, if we got answers, which took a long time, They were really unsatisfactory. We still have outstanding questions, particularly around 41 and a half. And the elephant in the room here, my friends, is how did we get to this situation where we don't have an administrative assessor? He's missing in action, he's gone, and there's chaos. I mean, you're doing the best that you can to address it. I understand that. But how did this happen in the first place? That's question number one. And then question number two, does the administrators, assessors, do you feel any responsibility to publicly posting to the community what has been going on and the situation that we're in right now? And I say that just from a citizen who is in dire need of some kind of transparency and accountability in terms of what goes on in town government.
I'll answer the second part first, that I can't issue any kind of a statement to the town. That would have to come from, I would assume, the select board. Would that be correct, Becky?
I think at the crux of what you're asking, Les, is a personnel issue that we have been working through carefully. And the guidance given by council is there's some, we clearly, the select board has moved ahead. And we are in, the relationship that existed no longer exists. And we are looking for a new administrative assessor.
Well, Becky, with all respect, well, how about a statement to people who are interested in what's going on with their taxes and what they're paying for their property taxes to that effect, in terms of, I understand that
I
there's
just made it
personnel
with
issues.
you. I'm sorry that I can't do more than I'm doing, Les. All my attention has been to making sure we are not in chaos. We have averted chaos in two major ways in the last few weeks. And we are all working tons of extra hours diligently, making sure that we don't miss a beat in the most critical elements of the assessor's responsibilities at this time. So I'm not able, and I cannot go into the individual circumstances of this personnel situation, but I can clearly tell you that everyone on the assessors team that I've been working with is doing all we can to get things right and to get you answers to your questions and to make sure that we don't miss deadlines that are looming on the critical work that happens in the assessors department.
Okay, that's kind of my second question, and I appreciate your attempts to answer that. But my first question is, how did this happen in the first place?
I want to, so as somebody on the board, and I have some proximity to all of this, I can tell you that I was completely blindsided by it. Okay, I was not expecting any of this up until several months ago. Kevin was performing his duties really quite admirably. As far as I know, no one was dissatisfied with his performance. I happen to like the guy a lot. And suddenly he just dropped out of action. And as far as I know, I have no explanation for that. I am as in the dark as you are about that. Okay? That's my response to your first question. I can't help you with it at all.
I appreciate that, Howard. Thank you.
As far as the question that you're asking about exemptions and what's available, we have all the detailed information that you could possibly want about that. We should be able to answer any of your questions. I happen to have a book on all that stuff sitting on my shelf. Anything that you want to know, I can certainly, I'm pretty sure I can provide you with the answer. I'm not sure I'm actually legally allowed to do that. I'm not sure what's appropriate or not, but the information is available. You should not have trouble getting that information. If you're
However-
allowed to, if
However,
you can
Howard,
come,
I'm looking,
what?
I have done some research on the 41C.5, and especially the 20%. And
Okay,
I've got some questions based on what I'm reading. That's why I'm kind of asking, is this David
Okay.
Burgess somebody who could help, who could explain, or I guess confirm that I'm understanding it correctly? So
Okay.
yes, we
Leslie,
have
I mean,
information. We still need an expert who knows the ins and the outs of this stuff.
Okay. Okay, it's possible that it's written, that the writing is not sufficiently clear that that's an issue. Sure.
Yeah, and that's why I could interpret what I'm reading two different ways, and
Okay.
I don't want to interpret it two different ways. I want to know which is the correct interpretation.
Right.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Leslie about some of this stuff, and she raised a similar issue in terms of ambiguity in the writing.
And that's why I was hoping, all this fate would give me this magic answer, and it doesn't.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah, I worked for the state for over 20 years, and I'm generally familiar with enabling legislation that is passed by the state and then passed on to the municipalities. And if we're talking about the 47.5, the statute reads up to 20%. And I think that may have been what was passed in the warrant, but doesn't that give responsibility to town meeting in a warrant article to say, okay, we're allowed to up to 20%, but what is the percent that we are going to provide to our residents now? And that's quite an ambiguity that needs to be addressed pretty quickly, I think.
May I read the warrant article? I was not at town meeting. And it says, vote to accept 59.5, 41C.5, and reduce the eligibility age to 65. So that's very clear. Increase the exemption amount up to 20%. So, I had not read that line when you came in that Monday morning. I think I asked, what can I do to prepare? And you said you'd bring it with you. So I'm not qualified to interpret it. And I'm all wholeheartedly in agreement with Jeff that we need someone who's done this for years, but there is more stipulations right in the warrant article than I understood. I was looking at the statute when you came into the office, not at the wording right in the warrant article, which is what we need to show to if David will comment on it for us.
Right.
Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate all of your endeavors on this.
Thank you.
Could somebody at the DOR straighten this out for us?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I think our first, why don't we work with who we got, David Burgess, and
Sure. Okay.
before we go down that rabbit hole.
I apologize. I had to take a phone call. Could you just tell me what I missed? Just a brief summary. I'm sorry.
So we were talking more about the legislation. There's a
Oh, 41C.5.
41C.5, and I was explaining that I think we need somebody that's knowledgeable to explain a few questions we have on what we're reading and how we're interpreting it. And we were hoping that David Burgess could do that. And if not, can't find somebody who can help us with that, then maybe we need to go to the D.
Well, it very well could be town council.
Yeah, it could be, I don't know.
Yeah, we can try town council as well. I think we'll try the people, David Burgess was the Amherst assessor for many years and also Shutesbury's assessor. So he's got a soft spot for us.
Oh, Howard,
We'll
hey,
pay-
Howard, I got out what I call our little magic book. And after the meeting or tomorrow, whenever you get a free chance, go to page 7-25.
Okay,
Don't
you
do it
mean for
now.
the exemptions? You want me to do
Yeah.
it now?
Yeah,
Hang
huh?
on.
Don't do it now.
Don't do it now.
Yeah, and look at what it says there.
Okay,
And you and I weren't allowed to talk about this because there's only 3 people in the committee, and if you and I talk, open law.
okay.
It's the amount column is what I want somebody to explain to me exactly what that's meaning.
Well, I'm not going to be able to divine anything that you can't. I mean, it's not like I'm going to look at it and understand it, any better than you do. But okay.
That's where I'm coming from, that's all. Jill, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm still confused. You want me to do this right now?
No, later,
Okay. Not right now, not during the meeting. Okay, sure.
No, later.
Okay.
So my question is, I don't know if the finance committee could help you out with this because they supported Kevin's warrant articles. I mean, right? The finance committee supported the exemptions that Kevin presented that was in the warrant articles that passed the town.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if the finance committee could help you out with understanding it, because how could they support it if they didn't understand it? And didn't Kevin have the responsibility of presenting these exemptions that he was going to submit as warrant articles to the board?
Yeah, he presented them.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's-
guessing just nobody was paying close enough attention to realize that there was this problem. That's what it sounds like happened. Okay.
It's
I
Right.
personally think that the warrant article is very clear now that I've read it and reread it. But none of us, well, I for one, do not have any authority to be interpreting statute for the public. Try rereading the warrant article itself, Jill, and I think Jeff probably has delved deeper and has a question beyond that, but where you and I were talking on that Monday, when I read the warrant article, I'm clear now when I say we were discussing up to 20%. And what I read in the article is clearly increase the exemption amount up to 20%. Oh, up to, that's where we kept struggling, up to. Yep, you're right. It's no different. I apologize.
Okay.
And that potentially could put a terrible onus on the Board of Assessors to decide up to 20%. Well, what does that mean? How much?
all right. So that's why I'm hoping we can get some
Yeah.
some support here.
Once again, many of you know that Jill and I are married, but we've been kind of bird dogging this for quite some time, and
I
we
think it's
do
2 years.
appreciate your attention to
Leslie,
these
Leslie,
questions.
2 years. 2 years. You said 2 months, 2 years with Mr. Rudin.
Thank you.
Well, I hope we can get to the bottom of it before the next meeting. And I have a feeling that, Jeff, if we do get to the bottom, we can relay the information immediately to Jill and Les, not waiting for another meeting.
I think Mr. Rudin became the principal assessor in Holliston on May 5th.
Yes, he did.
Mhm. And I think he was also the Mendon, town of Mendon clerk, assessor's clerk.
I think he was on the board. He's
I
on the
don't think
board
he
of
was the
assessors
clerk.
there.
I think he's listed as clerk in Mendon,
Okay,
in the town of Mendon. I kind of believe so. So,
Okay.
you know, he must, you know, and he was doing 20 hours in Shutesbury? I don't get it.
yeah.
How could he be working full-time in Holliston, let's say as the Mendon assessors clerk, and working here 20 hours a week?
There could be a different definition for an assessor's clerk. It might just been for the board to take meetings in minutes or something like that. It doesn't mean that it was the same job that I'm doing.
Well, I think if you
And-
read the, I mean, if it's, I think if you, I don't want to, it's, you know, it's just a big, like a quicksand. You know, was he or wasn't he doing his job? Howard says he was doing his job faithfully until 2 months ago. And he doesn't know what happened, and he just dropped out of sight.
Right.
Jill, I hate to interrupt. Again, the town is dealing with a personnel issue, and I understand everybody's dismay and frustration. But the best we can do is move forward and resolve all the issues that are open.
I will tell you this, that he took the Holliston job after the Shutesbury job.
Yes,
Mhm.
I think May 5th of this year, he became principal assessor in Holliston.
Okay.
All right, well, do we have any other issues? Because I think we've run down everything on Leslie's
Okay.
agenda.
Except to set the next meeting date, which I would hope that you will, because it'll be October and we really need to be approving the chapter applications.
Sure.
And there probably will be other things that others will want on the agenda too.
Do you think we'll have enough, 2 weeks, is that enough time, or should we move it to 3 weeks? And I have no idea what Susan's schedule is.
Today is what, the 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks is the 6th and 3 weeks is the 13th. And either of those is fine with me.
Same here.
Okay.
Leslie, do you,
And that,
If we do the 13th, that gives me plenty of time to review all the applications that come in. And if needed, we've still got the 27th perhaps for a second meeting in the month if needed. I don't know, Becky, you may understand the process that's going on with reval and tax rate setting, and and Ellen too, I shouldn't exclude Ellen. You folks may understand. I remember a year ago that Kevin was wanting to meet more often during this period, but we may be behind that schedule this time around.
so
If folks wouldn't mind, that if we do find in talking with Roy Bishop and mostly and Lauren, if we find that sign-offs or other actions are required by the assessors board, which there will be a lot of them from what we understand, that we request. Yeah, we might need to request an additional meeting prior to the 13th of October.
fine, yeah.
and I'm always available to drive down and sign off on stuff if that's all it takes.
Okay.
And so am I.
So let's.
Just, I need
okay.
a few days notice for a meeting, but other than that, yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's go for the 13th then.
Okay, and the 13th is soon enough? Leslie, the 13th is soon enough?
It actually works perfectly for me when I look at the paper on my desk. Yep.
Yeah, sure, fine, 13th.
Okay, same time? You good
Oh,
with
yeah,
that, Howard?
sure. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Becky and Ellen are okay with it?
Yep.
Okay, fine, good.
Oh, actually, wait, let me just,
Yeah,
that's,
go look.
it's a Thursday. Thursdays I can.
Thursday, the 13th.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, fine.
second, not third Thursday.
Okay, I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting. You want-
Okay, I second.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I
Bye,
guess
guys.
let's say
Bye, guys.
aye. Okay, Quackenbush, aye. Howard say aye. Howard said aye.
Wonderful.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night. Thank you.